Welcome back, guys, to the Michael Scott Show. Today we have a new guest. Scott, you want to introduce him?
All right, so this is our first guest of the show. He's a one-time champion in the Fantasy Football League, and his name is Hayden Cornwell.
Hey guys, as Scott said, my name's Hayden Cornwell. I met Scott at Cal Poly, and I met Michael through Scott. As he said, I am a one-time champion, but I have I don't know, it feels like 7 or 8 second and third places, so pretty respectable dynasty,
I
you
don't,
know.
I don't know if that's
okay.
a dynasty, but all right. And I don't think it was second places. I think it was third places, but I mean they're close.
Okay,
No,
okay.
Like I have a couple,
Taking
I have
over
a
there.
couple third places and one championship, but no one's over here talking about me. I mean,
More like one championship.
hey,
Dot.
hey, other than Scott's most recent, like I ran that last year. Okay, that was all me. Thank you very much. Like, hey. Side note, I was 7-5 while they were all 7-5 last year. There was like 6 of us all 75. I was there too. Okay, I was in the running the whole year. I was the 6th place of 7-5s
Oh my.
by a lot, but I was there.
So in case you guys haven't caught on, the theme of today's episode is fantasy football. We're gonna be breaking down the our early top 20 running back rankings. So
This will
Do
probably
we-
be like a 2-part video with either running backs and receivers, or maybe just 2 parts of running backs, depending on how long it takes us to get through it. We have a top 20 list, but obviously, with 3 people talking and kind of debating it, you're probably not going to see all 20 in this episode. So stay tuned for the next ones. We'll probably do, if this is a 2-part episode, you'll see the next episode on Wednesday. So, yeah.
all right,
Let's start off with our guests. Let's hear number 1.
I feel like it's gonna be kind of unanimous among a lot of people. Christian McCaffrey.
Not me. Not unanimous.
I 100% agree with
Don't agree at all.
that pick.
I don't necessarily think he's gonna repeat like last year's numbers because it's like, record-setting numbers. But I still think in PPR leagues he's gonna be just ridiculous in terms of receptions and the amount of points he gets week to week.
I mean, new quarterback, new system. I don't see him repeating nearly as much as like he had. I like the record breaking numbers are not going to be not going to be a thing again. And I just don't think he'll be number 1. I don't have him far off. I have him number 2, but I don't have him number 1 at all. Like it's just I think with the injuries that played a lot of running backs last year and sitting out wise on some of them, I really feel like you're going to see a lot of different names at the top, and I really think that number 1 spot's going to Saquon Barkley, just personally. Like what he did his rookie season, barring no injury, like last year was a muck, and he still finished top 10. Come on now.
Well, yeah, he dropped 80 points in 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly my point. Like, that's what my point is. He's
But then
he is their
throughout the
offense.
year,
No, he's their
throughout the
offense.
year though, he was like under 15 a
Well,
game.
They don't have an offensive line.
kinda-
I mean, like,
kinda
come
guy.
on. Their offensive line was one of the worst. I think ranked 31st in the league last year.
I saw something like 18 when I was looking
was
at draft stuff.
It was not.
When I was looking at
Oh.
draft stuff, it was ranked 18.
Okay, well, if it's
so.
18, then he's going to be a lot better this year because they added another piece to their offensive line. And a lot of, I think Chris McCaffrey's numbers were all inflated off receiving yards. Is Teddy Bridgewater going to check down that much? I mean,
So you think Teddy Bridgewater is going to throw downfield?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I definitely do. Like, we
really?
had this debate in the last podcast where I said Teddy Bridgewater has like a top 10 arm. Still agree with that opinion.
I remember that point.
So I think the ball's
Hayden,
going
care-
downfield.
Care to chime in on that
I mean,
one?
I can't speak to specific arm strength, but I definitely feel like Carolina's going to have more of like a, quick slant, halfback screen type offense, not a gunslinger 40-yard bomb type offense. So I think Christian McCaffrey is still going to get plenty of reception.
Yeah. No, I can see that, but I mean, like, I just don't think his numbers are going to be nearly as high as they were, especially at the receiving point. And how much he was above everybody else was clearly off his catches, especially in the PPR leagues. I mean, so I just think you're going to cut that number in half other running backs are coming back full strength, if there's no injuries, I don't think he holds the number 1 spot. I think there's
You
like.
think he's gonna get 50 receptions then?
I mean,
I got him at like 80. I think. I think he'll probably get 80, like 850 yards ish.
I mean, I'm fine with 50. I'd say it's a little higher than that. Maybe not exactly in half, but like maybe like.
I think his touchdowns
65.
will drop.
His touchdowns are
though.
definitely going to drop, and people are going to key in on him more. I mean, like he's going to get. Like,
Well, they did last
more.
year.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it's a little different now. Like he was like they started keying in on him in the mid-season. Like now they're like looking at the tapes, going, "Yeah, he killed us all year," and he's going to be a focus point all game, every game. So
Carolina also added a lot more weapons though. So
yeah, and they've got receivers everywhere, so they're going to be looking to
gonna
pass.
help him out actually.
So yeah, it's going to help them out to not give the ball to him that much. His fantasy numbers are
Well,
dropping.
it's gonna like you can't just focus on him because you have other people that can hurt you. Like last year, it was pretty much like outside of DJ Moore, there was no other real threat on offense. So
Yeah,
you
but
could just stack the box against.
Like, how many receivers they have and how much like of a threat they are. They're all deep down, like go down the field and catch the ball, speedsters, like all of them. I mean, so like in that sense, they're gonna be looking for bombs, and I don't see Christian McCaffrey getting like as many catches as he did because they're gonna be just trying to throw that ball downfield a lot. So that's my opinion on it.
Even if he doesn't get as many catches,
I'm like
which
half. I'm like half.
I could see him not getting as many catches. His rookie year, he had 80, and then 107 and 116. I don't think this is going to be like a record low in terms of receptions.
I'm like
I would say he's
65
above
to
80.
70. I'm like 65 to 70.
All right.
Like I think it's going to be
All
almost
right.
half of what he got last year. Almost half. Personally, opinion on that. But I mean,
We'll see.
speaking of that, where do you have Saquon Barkley at? If you were laughing when I said 1, I mean, obviously
He is my number 5.
5. Wow. Okay. Let's move on to number 2 real quick before we get to 5 because that's just like heartbreaking, honestly.
You mean number 2 on Hayden's list?
Yeah, number 2 on your list.
Zeke.
I have Zeke at 3, so I
Interesting. I have Zeke at 4.
I can respect that. You have Zeke at 4?
I have Zeke at 4.
Honestly, that's how I felt about him last year. I was not like, I don't know.
You also had that holdout kind of stuff.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I probably would have taken Zeke 101 last year if that holdout stuff like never
Didn't
happened at all. Yeah, I love Zeke, especially now with how good that Dallas offense should be.
Well, I mean, I think my reasoning is more along the lines of I feel like their offensive line's taking a little bit of a hit. They're getting a little older.
Yeah.
And then
They
losing
lost,
Travis Fredericks, I feel like
Yeah.
it's just gonna not give him as much room to
they
now.
still have
So
Best tackle and the best
their
guard
offensive
in the
line's still
league.
great. Their offensive line's still great. I'm not saying it's not, and that's why he's in my top 5 at that point. I just feel like he's going to take a little bit of a step back because the offensive line's a little weaker. They're going to be throwing the ball a little more this year because Dak is trying to get paid. So, I mean,
Even plays.
yeah, it's one of those things where I don't see his numbers like taking a big decrease from last year. I really feel like other running backs are just going to step it up a little bit more, and he's going to put out another season like he did last year, where it's pretty solid, just not number 3. I mean, or 2, just
He finished I think RB3 last year.
yeah. So I was
Yeah.
like I said, I got him at
He's
4.
he's super consistent though,
So
which
you
is
have-
why I like
Did you have him at 2 though?
I have him at 3. Aiden had.
That's a high
think so.
ranking, man.
Well,
is
I
high
think
ranking.
That is a
I think
high
how
ranking.
I don't want to speak for Hayden's thought process, but like I think Zeke and McCaffrey are probably 2 of the safest running backs that you could get going into next year. Like they're not injury, they like haven't shown any injury history, and they've always put up like top 5 numbers like year after year. So I feel like if you draft either one of
Well-
those guys, you're guaranteed a top 5 year from them.
I mean, that doesn't.
Which is what
can't-
you want
I
in
don't feel like
top.
you can guarantee a running back a top 5 year, no matter what. Like I mean, like
Well,
running
you
backs.
can't guarantee
running backs
anyone
And
a
that's what I'm
top
saying.
5.
Like I'm saying, like running back, especially like a top tier running back. Look at Saquon last year. I mean, everybody was expecting him to do at least, maybe not as good as his rookie year, but like have a pretty good season. And he gets injured like what, week 3? I mean, these kind of players,
Well, you
there's
can't
so much
predict-
load
you-
on them. There's so much load on them. Like you just don't know what's gonna happen with injuries. Look at Todd Gurley. I mean, so predicting it, saying it's gonna be like that, and just saying they're not having
You
injuries.
can't
or,
predict unknown
Well,
injuries.
you said like they're not showing any injury symptoms. Like you just don't know if they're gonna pop an injury or not. Like it's that. That's all I'm saying. Like you can't sit there and say like that's not a possibility. So
But like someone like Dalvin Cook, for example, who has injury history, you're probably gonna expect him to get
Little more,
injured.
like,
be-
skeptical.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I get that, but I'm just saying like this
That's
this
all
stuff.
I'm saying.
Injuries can happen anytime. So that's what I'm saying. Like I hate
Well,
taking
yeah.
I hate taking injuries into our account here to sit there and take away from a running back or add to a running back as a reasoning where you're taking them higher. I mean, like because there's just anything can happen, especially at running back position. This isn't like the
Yeah.
quarterback where they don't like if they have a good line they don't get hit as much. The running back's taking a hit every single play. I mean, so just anything can happen. So that's just what I'm saying on that.
So who
Right.
do you have as your 2 then?
I have Christian McCaffrey too. Like
Yeah.
So-
And he has
Oh, and you had
Saquon
Saquon.
at
Saquon one,
Yeah.
Christian two is my.
He's a good old Saquon fan.
I think Saquon's just the best running back out there. I mean, you trade for him last year, but
Yeah.
I mean I drafted him 2 years in a row. So I mean, like, and I'll go ahead and draft him again next year. I think I took him first overall last year. Didn't I have first pick last year?
Yep. Did.
Yeah, first overall last year.
Yep.
So.
All right.
Well,
Moving on.
wait, I want to know who your 1 and 2 are. Is it Chris McCaffrey and
Me?
yeah, Chris McCaffrey
Me.
and
And Saquon. Yeah.
Saquon? Okay, all right. So that's pretty.
Yeah.
So you're just the crazy one with Zeke up there. I got you. Me and him are pretty normal. Like we.
I mean, I have
flip-flop.
Zeke.
You,
I
you don't even have
Zeke at
Saquon
3,
in the top
so-
3. I mean, like what the heck? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give
Yeah,
my
I don't
number
have
3.
Saquon. Yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna go ahead and give my number 3 because I feel like it might trigger some of y'all since y'all have like some people really low. I got Derrick Henry at 3.
I have Derrick Henry at 4.
Okay. All
I
right.
have it. I have him at 6 only because I'm skeptical of his receiving numbers, but he could definitely
I'm
break
looking at
into
this
that.
as a both side league. I totally get in a standardized league. He's probably honestly number 1, but
He is number. I would put him
like-
at number 1 in the
and,
standard league.
and he's not there in this ranking because this is PPR ranking. But I still think he was phenomenal last year, and I just don't see that stopping anytime soon. He's finally hit that level that's been like consistent the last year and a half, 2 years, to
Yeah.
where I just can see the train keep going. The big man just keep rumbling and just putting up some numbers.
He's
be
so
honestly.
fast and massive.
Yeah, at how big he is, like he's really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6'3",
Yeah.
247.
Yeah, dude, he's
Yeah.
freaking massive, man. He's a
Yeah, he's
tank.
like my height.
He's
But, like,
26, nice and
Almost
young.
100 pounds heavier.
Yeah, no, he's freaking crazy. But I mean,
I agree with that.
like this is where
Or,
me
like,
and you, this is where me and you
I
kind
can
of
see
differed in the talks about Tannehill because I feel like he is the focal point on that offense, and that's why
He is.
that's why I just
He
think that Tannehill deserved a $120 million contract. I mean, because like they could do anything like what Tannehill's been doing.
You
running
still,
back
you
is
still
the-
need a quarterback who can
Dude,
open
dude.
things up and just like
Give
you
them
have to play
any
the
pocket
passing
passing
game.
style quarterback like Tannehill, and they'll be fine. They could have signed Andy Dalton to a $10 million deal real quick, and they'd be fine.
see
Like-
if you don't have a quarterback that can like do something.
They
you
don't
get
have burners for receivers, so they just need somebody that's a little bit accurate, sits in the pocket, and pops the balls out. I mean, that's all he needs. Like, they don't need anything. Like Mariota
they
tried
got-
to do too much when he was there. He tried to do too much. He tried to scramble a bit. He tried to throw the ball 100 yards downfield. He didn't have all those abilities. He didn't have the weapons for those to do that. So, like the kind of play they do and the kind of receivers they have, any quarterback can fit that scheme. But that running back is what carries him over the top, and that's why he's the top 3 running back in my opinion. I mean, like he is the focal
Hayden.
point.
What are
100%.
your thoughts about that?
I mean, I think generally I agree. I do kind of like Tannehill. I think he's a little bit more talented than an Andy Dalton or something. But I do think Derrick Henry is the focal point of the offense. He had like
Yeah, I
300
do.
carries last year or something crazy like that. I don't know if he's gonna be that high again, but I could see him being like 250.
Yeah, I would have looked to not sign Tannehill to such a contract they did, and when his contract extension comes up, be paying him the money because the way they utilize him is just different than other teams. They're powerhouse running. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And my number 4, I have Dalvin Cook.
So who'd you have at 3?
Me?
Yeah.
I Elliot.
Oh, you have Elliott at 3. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you have 3 is.
I have Cook at 3.
I have Cook at 4. No, 5. I have Cook at 5. So that's a perfect person to talk about because like my 4 is Ezekiel Elliott, so we've already talked about Zeke here, so really don't need to go back to that situation.
Yeah.
Um,
For me, I don't have Dalvin Cook playing 16 games.
That's why I have him at 5. I mean, like,
Yeah.
He'll probably play like
I
at the
said,
most
I don't
14.
like to put injury really into the factor because he's a very talented receiver. But I mean,
If we're being real, like he's
Yeah,
gonna
it's-
injure something.
well, I mean, I hope he doesn't. I hope he has a clean season.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't want
mean,
anyone
like, was
to be injured.
He was RB1 for a while before he got injured, right?
RB2. He was RB2.
Was he 2?
McCaffrey was RB1, and he just never let go.
Okay, well, I thought he was 1 for a second there, but maybe I was wrong.
Oh.
But I mean, either way, I mean, I don't know if he sustains an RB2 or 3, even if he doesn't get injured. I mean, like,
I think he does.
nah, I feel like that.
He does everything for that offense.
Yeah, but is it gonna
In his
long term? I don't
his-
know if he can do it for 16
touchdown
games.
rates.
I would argue that he would sustain that because even in his 14 games played last year, he had 250 attempts.
Yeah.
So I mean, you add on if he were to play 16 games,
That's
gets
probably
20
an extra
attempts a game.
20 a game. Yeah, so that's
yeah, almost 300, just up there with Derrick Henry.
and
yeah.
Dalvin Cook
And
has
he
way more
has
receiving
More
work too.
receptions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And with Diggs
I
being gone, I could see him taking on even a bigger role in receiving.
yeah, because
Well, yeah,
I don't think
totally.
that's
I-
all
yeah.
gonna transition to Justin Jefferson. But
No, I don't think it's all going to transition there to him. I really feel like the rookie receiver is going to have a lot less looks than you think. I really think Dalvin Cook's going to be more of a center point catching the balls out of the backfield than he was last season. He'll get more receptions. I still don't think he's going to be a top 3 running back, personally. Like I said, I'm not really trying to bar too much injury on it, but I just feel like with Saquon healthy, Chris McCaffrey healthy, and Derrick Henry healthy, I just feel like those 3 are going to just run the league, in my opinion, as a
But
top 3 running back.
Dalvin Cook healthy, he'll be.
I mean, if he stays healthy all
he'll be-
year,
he'll
totally,
be
I
right.
can totally
He'll
see
be
it, and
right
that's
up
why I have him
there.
at 5. I think he's a good spot at 5, personally. I mean, it's a good company being top 5 running back. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
you know,
I think our
you
top
really
5 are
can't-
pretty.
You can't really go wrong there. I mean, outside of
So-
top 5, like who's different in our top 5? Like I have Saquon, Christian, Derrick Henry,
I just
Ezekiel,
had
and
an
Dalvin.
I have
So,
Kamara at 5. That's probably
you have-
my.
you have
Kamara's at
Kamara.
6 for me.
Kamara's
Yeah.
at 6 for me as well.
Yeah.
So we
Kamara.
basically have everyone the same in the top 5.
Yeah. Top 6. It is the same. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
our
top 6
are
is
all
the same.
All right.
Me, I think Alvin Kamara's touchdown rate's gonna go up from last year. Like I think he literally had through 14 weeks he had like 1 touchdown. I cannot see that happening again. Like
All
that
right.
Saints offense is too explosive for him to get that low of a number.
No, I think Kamara is gonna be fine, and I really do feel like a lot of the stuff happened that last year was, I mean, there was so much offensive changes there at quarterback, and I think that didn't help him a lot because Drew Brees is a lot more check down than Teddy Bridgewater is. Again, why I don't think Christian McCaffrey is number 1 because you saw Teddy Bridgewater in that offense at the Saints, and he didn't check down nearly as much to Kamara, who's a very good back there. Than he's than Drew Brees did. So.
The issue with Kamara, I don't think was his receptions and receiving yards. I'd have to see how he finished among running backs, but I'm pretty sure he was in the top.
He's
like,
not
7.
he's not like a great overall just run the ball running back. He is a big time
No.
receiving first running back. So
Yeah, I
like that's
agree.
what I'm saying. Like with like those 5 games that Teddy B went in there, just go look at the numbers. The checkdowns weren't there. I mean, he wasn't getting the receptions he was getting through the rest of the season, and that really hurt him.
Yep.
I think he still finished at what, like I think 10 last year, somewhere around there.
It was definitely the top 10.
But I mean, you look a year before that, a year prior to that, with Drew Brees, all 16 games, checkdowns going to Kamara, and he just looked a lot better. Plus, he had Murray on the team last year as well, who was trying to fight for spots. He was a little banged up, so I mean, I can
Is
see
he
his.
still there?
I don't think they re-signed him. But I definitely see him, improving this year, especially with Drew Brees back, not being hurt at all, and being 100% healthy. He goes up in stock a lot, but that is the reasoning. Like you can go look at the comparison there, and that's why I bring Christian McCaffrey down 1. I mean, that's what I did there. But you just jumped over Saquon because we didn't talk about him because he has him at like 5, and I waited till he was at 5. So
Okay.
I did.
I mean,
for Kamara though, I just want to like point out a couple things. I mean, you were completely right about his actual running back stats. In terms of attempts, yards, and touchdowns, he finished outside the top 20 in all of them.
Yeah.
One thing I think is actually really interesting is receiving. He has 81 receptions in every year in the last 3 years. Exactly
See,
81.
That's pretty
I'm telling you,
But
he's
his first year, he had 800 receiving yards, and then 700, and then 530.
Yeah.
So his yards per reception are kind of going down, which is, I don't know if that's like teams
Interesting.
keying in on him. I don't know how they can really do that when they have Michael Thomas on the outside, but
Well, if you look at like his first year, he was like insane catching the ball. I mean,
yeah,
That's just
well, that's
no
'cause
one
they had
knew.
they had
and-
Ingram too,
yeah,
who could like
yeah,
run
powerhouse
all over
running
you.
ball. I mean, and they really should have probably kept that duo. Honestly,
I know.
I don't really understand the thought process there to go ahead and get rid of that because like I said,
Ingram's
like,
old.
like if you look at like either way, if Ingram's old or not, I mean he's a power running back. He still finished in the top 15 last year for a new team. I mean like Ingram's still. I mean if Ingram's not in your top 20 this year, then you're doing something wrong. I mean,
Well, I guess I'm doing something wrong.
so I mean like I'm perfectly
Ingram
fine with
is my 20.
exactly. So like Ingram's I think 16 for me or something like that. So he's low on my 20s, but I mean like not my 20s, but like low in my top 20. But like at the same time, Ingram was a very good powerhouse running back for them and can sustain that. And like Murray isn't that. You know what I mean like Murray was okay for them last year, had a couple good games, but when you're a receiving running back, you need an actual running back to create the separation for you, so you can actually catch the ball and do some things because he's the one that's going to take away from them actually running the ball. I mean, like Kamara's not the big time runner. He's just not. He's
He
never.
also
gonna be.
did miss 2 games.
Honestly, you could
as,
take
as the
Kamara.
note, and he still finished in the
Yeah.
top 10.
You could take Kamara and plug him into like a slot receiver spot, and he's fine. You know what I mean? Like he's very receiver first. So
I agree.
so
Yeah, that's what they do when they got Taysom Hill at running back.
Yeah. So
All right, are we moving on to 6 or 7? Or
we're going back to
you wanna talk
5
about
because we
Saquon.
haven't
Yeah,
talked about
we need
Saquon at
to-
all. You literally jumped. I said I'll
circle
wait
back.
on it. I said I'll wait on it, and you
Just
jumped.
not talk about
Like
Saquon.
you're just like, let's not talk about the number one running back in the league 2 years ago. I mean,
Okay.
Number 1
Yeah.
fantasy running back.
well,
first
I mean,
of all.
let's just say the number one rookie
I
running back.
was
of all
thinking
time,
of the
maybe.
best running back, I'd say.
Of all time?
Maybe
Is that what you said?
Number one running back, number one rookie running back in fantasy of all time, maybe.
I mean, I don't know the numbers. on
Yeah,
that,
I don't know. So I'll take your word.
I
I'll
mean,
go look at Barry Sanders' rookie year and see how he did.
I'm talking about fantasy though. I mean, I don't even know if they were doing fantasy football back in '95.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
they.
I mean,
Somebody
they
was.
were.
the only one I could think of probably would be like maybe AP,
LT.
LT, AP. One of those two would maybe could take it. Zeke's pretty good, but I don't know. Like, I mean, there's a lot of good running
All
backs
right.
pumping the scene, but I would say Saquon probably the number one fantasy running
We're
back.
on Saquon, so start talking about your.
Dude's a
your
jukebox,
boy.
man. Like, he can juke anybody out of their shoes. Like, he takes the ball. Like, okay, first play of his NFL career was 65 yards. Like, come on.
No, it wasn't. That was not his first play.
Okay,
he was
Like,
he was
like,
doing trash all the way
okay. His first game.
up until that, and then I was beating you by like
I
30
remember that
fantasy
day.
points,
Remember that
and then
Hey,
and then I
side
see
note.
on my phone
Run it back.
Saquon Barkley finally breaks out 80-yard touchdown. I'm like, oh my.
Let's run it back though. That year draft, me and him are drafting, and we having a great one at this point. Second round, Leonard Fournette's on the board. He drafts one pick before me. Leonard Fournette, Saquon Barkley on the board. He drafts Leonard Fournette. I draft Saquon. I won the title. That's the
Oh,
history.
man.
One pick difference.
That's
he got
true.
left in the dust. I mean,
I mean, it still got second. I'll
but
That's
yeah.
like
So
second place
Saquon
one.
Barkley has a little place near dear to my heart because he won me a title last year. So
yeah.
that I mean, I might be a homer for putting him at 1, and he might be real for putting him at 5. And I mean, who knows? We all have got him in the top 5, so that's a bonus there. But like I said, he's so shifty. He's fast. He's good size running back. I mean,
Yeah, he's
he
just
can
he's
power through
your
people.
perfect
He's
running back.
He's overall just a perfect running back, and you know he stays healthy. You just don't know what he's gonna do, especially with the offensive line over there. They've added another piece to it. They're going to get better. They are developing to get better. I mean, so Like, hopefully they continue that.
Daniel
path.
Jones just kind of scares me a little bit.
Daniel Jones is awful.
Yeah, that's
Like, no, Daniel
that
Jones
is
is
why
awful.
I have him lower.
He turns it over a lot, and that's not Saquon's fault. But
If this was a standard league, I think Saquon would be in my top 3.
I mean, Daniel Jones
PPR, he drops a little bit.
Is awful. I don't think he's a great quarterback at all. And if anybody does, I think that honesty is kind of scary, it's a little scary there. But
I mean,
I really
to tell,
feel like
but-
they're gonna run it back a year and say we're gonna focus more on Saquon this year, their franchise running back, than they are on Daniel Jones. I don't think. Like, I really feel like if they didn't need to go for a offensive lineman so bad in the draft, it could have been possible they would have went and snagged a quarterback. I mean, I don't think they're set on Daniel Jones at all. So, I think they're going to go more focus heavy on Saquon this year than they did, like they did last year. So,
you still need the threat of a pass, or else he's just going to go up against stack boxes all day and get 3 yards to carry.
Threat of the pass is we're just going to freaking check down to him, and he's just going to catch it and run all over your faces. Like
You're acting like
I have a question.
Are dumb and wouldn't catch on to that.
When you're looking at, obviously top running backs like Christian McCaffrey, Zeke, Saquon, do you look at strength of schedule in terms of the defenses they play? Would that factor into your 1, 2, or 3 spot, or is it just?
I mean, I check schedules and I look at them and I kind of evaluate it differently.
I don't.
In that league, I mean,
personally.
in that division, you have Zeke and you have Saquon, so I feel like those two kind of have a wash on schedule because they also play.
Yeah.
That division is notoriously tough for mediocre teams. I mean, it's literally the Redskins, the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Giants, and none of them are really contenders ever. I mean, the Eagles have been good recently, but last year wasn't great for them. So really,
Chase Young is excited for Saquon to run right into his arms.
I feel like in that sense, they're all looking for the breakout game against their division rival because that's what they live to win for, really. So
yeah, exactly.
I definitely feel like it's a good division for Saquon to go ahead and rack up numbers. I mean, personally, and that's why I think Ezekiel Elliott has also thrived in that division.
Don't the Eagles have a top run defense? It was top 5, I think.
Eagles have had a top run defense, but now they're 38.
They have Fletcher Cox still, right?
They're 38 to 40 years old, 50 years old. They might be tombstones pretty soon. So, I don't know how fast they're moving nowadays.
But they are going to have to face Chase Young now twice.
I mean, Chase Young's a freaking monster. I mean, number one player in the draft, in my opinion.
Marcus Lawrence. I don't know how good he is at run defense, but
all right. Well, I want to jump on to number 7 here. And I want to go ahead and get this wildness out of the way because Scott's already hating on me. Chris Carson, number 7. What do we feel about that?
I do not agree.
I have Carson as the 11.
I have Carson as my 16.
16.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm just.
Yourself, sir.
Wow. Okay,
I think Penny's gonna have a mini breakout this year. Personally, I think we have started to see that last year, and then he got injured. The games up until his injury were pretty good.
Oh, you mean the 3 games he played in because Chris Carson was injured?
No, Chris Carson wasn't injured.
Well, yeah, he had that fumble problem, then he got injured, then he was out 2 games, and then
Okay.
Penny played. That's actually exactly what happened because you told me to pick up Penny. I picked him up, and what happened? He got injured the first play of the game, and I got nothing out of it and lost that week. I remember because you the one that talked.
Okay, so you're mad at me for telling you to pick up a player who got injured.
I don't think Penny's having a breakout this year. I think they're riding on Chris Carson. I think the fumble problem's going to be over, and he is going to be a top 10 running back.
I don't think so.
I for sure think so. I mean, he's good, man. He's powerful. He's not.
But he fumbles.
That's what I'm
still
saying.
had 278 rushing attempts last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't think he maintained close to that this year?
Oh no, he gets.
I think they'll split it more. Personally,
no,
if
they won't.
Penny stays healthy,
All right,
I
side
think
bet.
they will.
Side bet.
Wasn't he a second round pick?
Side bet.
I don't remember.
Side bet. All right.
I think they're pretty invested.
250 plus carries is my bet.
Is Penny a
I'm not making
pass catching back at all, or is he just straight?
No,
running?
He's like a semi pass catching back, but he's basically
more of a pass catching back than Carson is.
He's Carson, just a little smaller and catches a couple more passes. I mean, he's not as fast, he's not as physical, but he's bigger body and he catches a couple passes. I mean, he's not
as physical, but bigger body. I don't explain that one.
I mean, it means he's just fatter. That's pretty self-explanatory.
I mean, the point that I was gonna get at is a couple years ago, like Kamara's rookie year, and when the Saints had Ingram and Kamara, and Ingram was just their powerhouse, like rush 130 yards a game, and then Kamara was like 9 receptions for 120 yards a game.
Yeah.
Like, what if Seattle ends up doing something kind of like that, where Penny's more of a pass catching back, and
I think that
I don't think Pete Carroll will run an offense like
I don't
that.
think he will either.
I think
but I think
he's just gonna like face smash, like run the ball.
yeah, and that's why he wants somebody like Chris Carson. But
I'm thinking that
listen,
I-
his favorite
I
running
still
back in
have
the
this
league is Marshawn
high
Lynch.
back.
He doesn't
He's
care
gonna-
about
they're
pass
gonna split the
catching.
carries more
he cares
evenly
about
is
hitting them in the
my
mouth.
point.
Okay. If they
Like,
were
I
gonna
think-
run something like that, I think they would ship Penny out. I don't think he catches that many passes to be
Scott,
a feasible receiving back.
200 rushing attempts for Carson, higher or lower?
I mean, I would like to have training camp first, but I
You're
guess
such a girl.
He had 280
As
last
of-
year, 250 the year before that.
as of this year, assuming Penny's back week 1, I'm gonna go higher, but capping it at 220.
All right, I will side bet you $100. It's 250 plus.
No,
There's a lot of side
I
bets in
need
this
I
show.
need I need training
what?
camp first. Not making you that bet.
What'd you say, Hayden?
That,
So there's a lot of
training
side
camp.
bets on this show.
Yeah. All right. 265
I need-
plus.
no, I need training camp first. I'm not making this. I'm
Dude,
not.
Scott
no.
would make that bet, and then they trade Penny week 1 of training camp.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm waiting.
All right,
I'm waiting on that one.
275.
I'm
Oh
waiting.
my goodness.
Just move on. All right,
All
but
right.
anyway. All right, so
I'll
number
bet you
7.
$1 a rushing yard more than Penny. Every yard he has more than Penny has.
No,
$1.
that's-
$1.
That's the dumbest thing I think
If
I've
Penny
ever heard.
outrushes him, you get paid. Okay.
No, but he's not going to outrush him. I just think that they'll split the carries more. You're
You're
not
just saying
listening.
that you think Carson's just going to go down in overall production. He's not going to be a terrible
Bad.
back. He's just not going to be top 10.
If Carson's not
Yes.
in the top 10, I'll give you $100.
He's just not going to.
Like,
I just
I'll
think
just
they're
gift
gonna-
that to you. All right. Like,
I just think like injury, like
dude, you're crazy. Moving on.
prevention, like
Who do you have at 7?
I have Joe Mixon.
You
Personally.
have him at like 14.
I have
I mean-
Mixon at 12.
Like we're closer.
Yeah,
than you are.
I'm
Go ahead and
probably a lot
explain
higher
that one too.
on Mixon.
Go ahead and
Okay.
explain that one too, because you're just out here wilding at this point. You looked at my list and you're over here like wilding now. Yeah, I have Mixon at 14.
I mean, he's just off of pure volume, and he's very talented. Like he has no competition whatsoever. Yes, his line is terrible.
I mean-
Yes, he's gonna have a rookie quarterback, but it's gonna be like a Leonard Fournette kind of situation. I think, like just off of the sheer volume he is going to see.
Hey, side note.
It's
Side note.
just gonna put him in
Timeout.
top 10.
He does have competition. It's called the Cops. He might hit another woman. You never know.
Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't factor that into my rankings.
Who knows? He might be not playing next season. He might just go smack somebody up. You never know about that guy.
Assuming he is not on Goodell's list,
Who knows about Mixon?
but like is that a fair take? Like I like just off of
No,
pure volume.
No, it's good and I like it, but I mean, I don't have nearly as high. And I have the same reasons where he's at for me is the same reasons what you have. Like he has a rookie quarterback, he has a bad offensive line. The offense there has sputtered and not looked good in numerous seasons, and I just don't see them really. I don't think he's going to be like super overly productive. I think he's going to be a top 20 back, but I just don't see him as being a first round pick in anybody's draft. I mean,
I just think that with Fournette, for me, I just looked at what Fournette did last year. Like he had a rookie quarterback, not really a good offensive line, but he's a talented player and he got the volume.
yeah,
and
but Fournette is more of a powerhouse running back and will hit you in the mouth and keep running.
I think Mixon's more skilled than Fournette.
I think Mixon's a poor man's Saquon. Personally.
Huh?
I think he's a poor man's Saquon. I don't think he is finesseful. I think he tries to do
You
too
should watch
much,
some
and
of his
just-
tape.
I've watched it. I've watched it.
That's-
I've also seen.
that-
where he got
that's all I'm
I've
saying.
also seen
He
it,
is-
take a couple shots. I mean, I've seen it.
So I have Mixon down at number 12, primarily for 3 reasons. I agree the rookie quarterback, you never know how that's gonna like work out. Although I feel like he would probably be safe either way. But Mixon doesn't really get the touchdowns for the amount of attempts that he'd get. He had 5 rushing touchdowns last year,
Yeah, it
and
was
he also
a
has to
lot.
go up against the Steelers and the Ravens twice a year.
Tough
That's
division.
okay. That's I don't
Well,
look
and it's
schedules.
not even just that. I mean, he's in the division with the Browns as well, who have a very dominant front line. Just look at Miles Garrett.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
Yeah,
3
that's
solid
well,
run
assuming
defenses.
Miles Garrett.
yeah, he might rip his helmet off of him in the face with it, but I mean, he's
That's
still
not
there.
Two
Like-
Dude,
bites
I
on
might
one
even
foot.
put him lower now. Now I got to worry about him getting knocked out with his own helmet.
Exactly. I mean, there was a thugs in that division. Let's be honest. But, I mean, like if you look at the sheer players he's
Yeah,
going against,
boys.
the defensive line for the Ravens, huge, solid, very
Yeah.
good defensive
Yeah.
line. The Steelers are gonna fly to you everywhere you want. I mean, Devin Bush and T.J. Watt are gonna annihilate you. I mean, and they're big on their front line too. And then look at on the Browns, they're not a slouch there. I mean, their front seven's pretty solid and quick, and
Yeah.
and their safeties are not bad. I mean, their defense is definitely the better part of their team. They kept them in a lot of ball games last year, so their offense just was sputtering and couldn't win the games.
Like quarterback this stuff.
Yeah. So really, Joe Mixon's going up against probably one of the best divisions at running wise. To
Yeah,
stop
I
the
don't
run.
disagree with
So
Mixon being talented. I think he, like, on pure skill and pure athleticism, he probably is like, a top 10 back for sure in the league.
I still think
He
he'd
just-
be like 10 or.
He's just
11,
unlucky
but I
on the
just
fact
don't
that
like
he has a
his-
terrible offensive
Yeah.
line, kind of not a great organization. It's kind of like the Browns. They just
Yeah,
don't really have
yeah,
anything going
They are
for
not
him.
a good organization.
And he has to face like some of the hardest run defenses in the league.
Yeah.
Well, he will probably get over 270 carries.
Yeah,
Who else is gonna run the ball on that
270
team?
carries and 5 touchdowns. Pretty good numbers. All right, Hayden, who's your number 7?
This is a pick that's close to my heart because I am a Green Bay fan.
Oh, here
I
we go.
have Aaron
Aaron
Jones.
Aaron Jones? Wow.
Nope.
Wow. I mean, I can't say I didn't see it coming. We haven't talked about it. We haven't talked about him yet at all. I've personally got him at 11. I think he's in a down year. This
I
year.
also have him at 11.
And I mean, he had a great year last year too. I just
Yeah.
don't see that being repeated. I mean,
I don't think he'll repeat as many touchdowns as he did because he had one
he
game
had like
with
20.
4.
Yeah.
yeah,
He had like 20,
He
20
had
touchdowns.
16 rushing touchdowns last year.
yeah, it's
3
it was
receiving.
insane. So
Okay, 9. Yeah. and
I don't see
Yeah.
the receiving touchdowns really going down.
You see the 16 rushing touchdowns going.
I see him
Going
going down a
down.
little bit. I don't think it's going to be drastic. Like, I don't think it's going to get cut in half or anything. I think that's kind of like especially from
still,
what
like,
I'm hearing
10 or
on
12.
like news and stuff. Yeah, I think Packers are going to start to lean more of a running play action pass type offense,
yeah,
and I trust the yardage is going to be there, and I think he's
Aw,
probably going to get
so-
like 12 touchdowns.
So you're telling me I have to drop my boy Adams?
No, definitely not. We could talk about that next week on the wide receiver one.
No, like I said, I definitely see a little bit of drop in productivity. I don't see him at a number like what he finished last year at 2, I think, right?
Yeah.
23?
Yeah.
Something, yeah.
I mean, I've got him at a harsh drop to 11. Really, it's like 9 spots. So, but
Yeah.
I really, like I said, I feel like with everything going on in Green Bay and how they're restructuring the offense and the way they're looking at doing different things, I just don't see him having the same kind of productivity. I've got him more around the lines of like maybe 8 to 10 touchdowns, and I don't see him getting any more volume in the receiving game. So that's why I'm at 10. I mean, I hope or 11. I think I liked his production last year, and I really hope he does better than that. But I just don't see it.
Yeah,
Do
I
you guys
think
remember?
he
Oh, go ahead.
keeps everything the same, but his touch. Like,
yeah, numbers wise, he can put up some numbers for sure.
just off of sheer.
Well, he's
yeah,
fast
off
for
of
a
like
big guy, man. Like how
statistical like
I
probability
mean,
and
like,
whatnot.
I feel like
I just
he just looks like a bigger running back out there. I know he isn't like super big or anything like that, but he's pretty fast for like the size he looks like. I mean,
Yeah.
I could see him actually getting a small uptick in the receiving game
Yeah, I feel
'Cause-
like he probably will.
because I don't think the Packers really added that many weapons to their receiving core,
Oh,
right?
I can tell you,
They-
as a Packers fan, we did
they-
not add weapons to their receiving core.
they certainly didn't draft one, but
The weapon that they added was Devin Funchess.
Dude, Devin Funchess isn't that bad.
hey,
I don't think he's
Breakout.
bad.
breakout player right there.
I think Cam Newton just threw it over his head too many times, but we'll see how it works out.
Or he just wasn't good enough to go get it. I mean,
Yeah, you're talking to a Cam Stan over there.
I'm hoping Cam goes to Denver, honestly.
Do you guys remember a couple years ago? I think it was 2 or 3 when LeGarrette Blount was on the Patriots.
Oh, and he got like
He
20
had, like,
touchdowns or something.
He had like 18 2-yard touchdowns.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I do.
think- I,
Read
I
that.
don't think it's going to be to that degree, but I think that's kind of how Aaron Jones is going to be this year. I think if the Packers offense works the way that they're hoping, they're going to march down the field and then punch it in from the 3-yard line
Yeah.
a couple times a game.
I
So
can
it's
see
like
it. I can see it.
that's where I think
All right.
like, most of the points are going to come from.
I've got him at 11, like I said. So, I mean, we'll see if that changes.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Yeah, moved on to number 8. This
Wait,
one,
who was your 7, Scott?
my 7 was Mixon.
All right.
Okay.
So mine was Chris Carson. Yours was Mixon. Okay, we already talked about all three. So
Yep.
number 8, I guess I'll start this off because I really feel like this guy has he's gonna have a big drop in production from last year, and I really think this might be still a little high, honestly, on where he's at. But I didn't want to see the fall from grace too far. But I got Austin Eckler here, and
Oh, he's gonna
Let me look through my list real
all
quick.
fall from
Austin
grace.
Eckler did not even make the top 20.
Wow.
wow, that's insane. Third running back
I
last year.
have him at 14. I have him at 14, but
I've dropped him to 8 from 3, and I feel like that's respectable. He's a very big pass catching back, so if he doesn't get the pass catches,
yeah, but
it's not
rookie
gonna look
quarterback,
yeah,
as you
but
were.
the rookie quarterback checks down. Go watch the Oregon tapes. I'm an Oregon
Okay,
boy.
so then
Like,
Nixon's
come on.
receptions are gonna go up then.
No,
Well,
your
oh,
rookie
no.
quarterback doesn't check down. My rookie quarterback does check down. Different quarterbacks.
No, it's a rookie quarterback. He's gonna check.
No,
check-
listen,
check
your
down.
rookie quarterback is going to throw downfield. Trust me, he's got.
No,
you
he's
know, AJ
not.
Green.
Dude, rookies
We're
don't
gonna-
just
No.
go out there and start gunslinging, dude.
Watch and
Name
learn.
one.
Watch and
Name
learn.
one.
Yeah, his name's Joe Burrows. It's about to happen. 2020.
Bro, what did Jameis Winston do in his
Yeah,
rookie year? I gotta
exactly.
go check the tape.
Oh, boy.
Dude slung the whole year. He didn't check down once.
Let me look at Fitzmagic's rookie tape and
Yeah.
Winston's rookie tape. I'll get back to you.
But okay. No, Justin Herbert's a big check down guy. He definitely always looked for the option if it was there. So I can just see, just knowing off of that fact, that I don't think Eckler's numbers are going to drop so bad. I mean, if they some reason start Tyrod Taylor, then he's not even a top 15 running back in my opinion because he's not a huge on the ground numbers guy. But with the rookie running backs or quarterback starting, I really do see a lot of check down options to Austin Eckler, and that's why I have him so high. But like I said, that one it literally teeters. Like if Herbert doesn't get the start, then this is a flip for me. Like it's a bad pick. Then I mean,
I just know that Eckler's kind of like an Alvin Kamara type, where like his rushing numbers really aren't
yeah,
there.
It's exactly
So,
what
like
you
he's
said.
in yeah. So I'm just saying that like yeah, that's just my reasoning on
Yeah.
dropping him.
I'm kind of in
Like,
like the same.
I don't see him getting 90 receptions either, even with a rookie quarterback who checks down. Just because like that's still
I
like
personally feel like in the
that's a
we're not in
lot.
the
Like
receivers
that,
yet.
that is
Like,
a
we're-
lot.
Like we're totally not in the receivers yet, but I have Keenan Allen quite a bit lower than he was last year because I just don't see Herbert
Yeah.
slinging the ball to Keenan Allen. I see him dropping it down to Austin Eckler a lot. And that's where like I can
Well,
see like 80, 90 catches from Austin
Keenan
Eckler.
Allen wasn't the deep guy though. That was Mike Williams.
My point is I don't see him throwing the ball downfield is what I'm saying. Like he's gonna do as much as he can not to get intercepted, and I think that's gonna be checking down. So a lot
I mean,
of
the coaches aren't just going to let him just throw to the running back
listen,
all game long. Hate
If
to break
Austin
it
Eckler,
to
if
you,
Austin
but
Eckler catches it and takes it 99 yards like he did last year, they're gonna love it. They don't even care what happened. Okay.
I don't think that. Okay,
All right. Who's your number 8?
Hayden or
Chubb.
me, Chubb.
Nick Chubb. Okay,
Mine
okay.
is Kenyon Drake.
Okay. So the Nick Chubb thing, because I'm not even gonna address the freaking Kenyon Drake thing. Like,
Wow,
that's
I mean,
just- that's wild and that's wild.
that's
Before we move, I want to go on the record of saying while I don't have Eckler in my top 20, he's like, to me, he's like a make it or break it kind of guy. Like he's gonna finish like 15 or he's gonna finish like 30. And,
Yeah.
And-
it's just too much of a wild card for me to put him up there.
Like-
so
To give
that's
him a
my
slight
reason
game.
for not
I
having
get
him.
you.
Amari Cooper.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get to receivers next. Don't worry. So back to Chubb. I'm okay with the pick. I think 8's a good number for him, but I think I have him. I think I'm at 12.
I have him at 10.
I think I'm at 12. So we're all pretty close there. What scares me is like, do we know what's gonna happen with Kareem Hunt? Did he re-sign with the Browns? Is he?
Yeah,
going somewhere else?
he's on the
Like,
Browns
So
actually
he's
Yeah.
so he re-signed with the Browns.
for a 1-year deal.
Yeah, again, I definitely still feel a lot of split carries coming, and
Yeah.
I felt like Kareem Hunt had a
Wasn't
very,
Hunt more
a very
receiving?
I feel like he had a very good second half of the season last year when he came back. Where like I mean, it was very productive for not playing in the whole first 11 games. So
I agree.
I definitely see Kareem Hunt having a better year than he did last year, and a lot more split coming in. To where this is almost like a 50-50, maybe a 60-40 thing. Because Kareem Hunt's definitely looking to get paid next year. He's looking to go somewhere else and get a job as a career back somewhere. So,
I
yeah,
still think Chubb is
No,
a phenomenal talent.
he's gonna be
though.
Cleveland's
like,
guy. Like
he might be a top 5 talent in
yeah,
the league.
I think he is when he doesn't have a player like Kareem Hunt behind him. Like if Kareem
No,
Hunt wasn't there,
that doesn't
I think he's
change. It's
No,
who
it
he is.
definitely
Like,
changes. It definitely changes. They're not gonna waste away what they have with Kareem Hunt, especially for the value they're paying him. He's gonna get playtime, and that takes away from Chubb. I mean, it's like you're saying
right,
with Penny. Like if Penny comes out and breaks out against Carson, Carson's gonna lose a lot of playtime, and it's gonna be more of a split carry situation, and then that just devalues him. That's
yeah, right.
that's
No. That's
what
not
I'm saying.
what
Like,
I'm saying.
Hunt's already
what
did
I'm
it, though.
saying.
Hunt's already broke out. He already showed he can be a dominant number one in these systems. Like he showed it in KC. He showed it last year coming in and splitting carries, and I think it's just going to be a more impactful situation this next year. I don't have Kareem Hunt as like a top 20, top 15 back, but he's definitely going to be like right on that fringe, like 21, 22 on the backs, to where he's very serviceable, and that's why I feel like Chubb could be like a 12 to 10.
I think Chubb will probably get the goal line work and therefore probably have more,
Yeah, but
touchdowns.
they got to get to the goal
That'll-
line first. I mean,
and that'll save him. Yeah, they will get to the goal line.
we've been
have-
talking about that for a long time. That the Cleveland Browns have shown they
That
don't
is
get goal line.
That is true.
I mean,
As
think
long as
this
Baker isn't responsible, I think they can get to the goal line.
So
I mean,
Alright.
like, yeah.
I feel like
I think Kareem Hunt is gonna, like, the way that I see them splitting it is like receiving work to the running back. Kareem Hunt's gonna get that like 80%, 20%, and
Yeah.
then it's gonna be for straight up rushing. I think Chubb's gonna get that like 65-35 or 70-30.
yeah, and I feel like that kind of breaks down to like an even set of snaps of almost 50-50. I mean, like
Yeah.
so it's going to be a big split, and that's where I just don't put him. I can't put somebody that's going to be split in carries basically, or splitting that big of a number of field time as a top 10. That's why I don't have him so high. I mean,
But you have Alvin Kamara up there.
yeah, but Alvin Kamara is going to be the number one, the main guy next year.
Nah.
No, he's not
No,
splitting
no.
with anybody next year. Trust.
Is Murray gone?
I don't think Murray's there anymore. I'm pretty sure they let him go.
If Murray's gone, then I agree. But
Let's look that up real quick.
While you're looking
know.
that up, let's get on this nonsense so we can get this over with real quick. This Kenyon Drake bull crap. I mean, I put
Scott's
him,
number
mean,
8,
that-
right?
yeah, his number
Yeah.
8. Like, I want to side note. What do you got him at, Hayden?
Not far off from Scott, one spot down.
Wow, you have him at 9.
Yep.
Oh, my
dude,
God.
why? Like, how can you? Did you not see his numbers in?
Side note: the
his-
Saints still do have Latavius Murray.
Okay, so
That's not gonna be a long-term thing, though. I don't think they'll have him after training camp.
I don't think Kareem Hunt's going to be there long term either.
All right, moving on. I don't even want to like waste time on this. Like,
Whoa! What do you mean waste time? We both have him in our top 10.
I was gonna say, yeah, 2 of us have him in the top 10.
So maybe
the way,
you're
my
wasting
next-
our time.
My number
Yeah.
10, you need to explain yourself because you have my number 10 at your number 18, but we'll get to that in a second.
wait, I do. Who's my
That's
number
what I
9?
heard before the show.
You have RJ3 at number 10?
Nah, well, I have Josh Jacobs, but
Oh no,
Yeah.
he's 13. Don't worry.
Oh, I thought Scott said you had.
Oh,
Oh, you were
I was trolling him.
changing the rankings right before
I was
the show. You're
trolling
the
him.
worst.
I said that. I showed you and I said, nah, I've been just trolling you. I'm moving to Josh Hayden.
All right. Anyway, back to the next breakout player, Kenyon Drake.
The next breakout player.
Dude, I mean, who is he competing with over there? Chase
Kyler Murray.
Edmonds. I mean, okay, I guess, but
DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk.
not for rushing.
He's literally contending with the rest of the offense because he's trash.
I would have to. I'm gonna go pull up his late game splits.
Go for it. Yeah. How would
Yeah, actually, Hayden, can you pull?
There was a specific
from-
game last year. I think
from
it
your
was.
sources?
I think it was the one where they were gonna start David Johnson, what everybody was saying, and then they last second started started Kenyon Drake right before he came back. I think it was the Rams, and I think he had like absolutely nothing in that game, like trashed, like against the Rams. So I mean,
I don't.
Then you.
Oh wait, game log. Here we go.
I mean,
You want
'Cause, like,
game
at
log or just
the-
last season stats?
like let's just say right
Like,
now, what did he finish at last year?
End of season stats.
What did he finish at last year? Because he started pretty much the whole year. So like, what did he finish?
No, he
at last
didn't.
He
What?
played
He did
8
not
games
start the
last
whole
year.
year.
That started.
Yeah,
the
he
whole
played
second
half the year.
Okay, he started the whole second half of the year.
He finished 29th in terms of yards
Okay,
and 9th in
Not-
terms
not
of
great.
touchdowns and 4th on yards per carry.
So what's that put him at total?
In terms of fantasy, I don't have that number up.
I mean, I can go ahead and pull that number up real quick because I feel like it's.
How about-
trashed.
Well, yeah, he played 8 games. Of course, it's going to be trash.
Okay, I mean, I'm just saying.
You
Just
can't-
Just like your thought process is trash.
That's like saying, oh, Saquon's not a top 5 guy because he
17
didn't finish-
last year. He finished at 17.
he's only playing 8 games.
He
That's
played way more than 8 games. So by the way,
That's not what ESPN says.
he played in game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I'm sorry, he didn't play in 5. He played in game 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, and week 17. He only missed
Right.
3 weeks last year. So
Okay. He played 8 games for the Cardinals.
he played.
Okay,
6
yeah,
games
those
for the
are
Dolphins.
yeah.
I don't
I'm not
count the
counting his games.
Dolphins because
Yeah, I don't count.
We
Dolphin
gotta
games
count
either.
the whole entire season, guys. That's just how fantasy points work. I can't say let me play through the games he only played for another team. That's
But,
not
like
an
you have to
option
look.
for me.
You like have
You
to look at his stats.
Okay,
the-
so for
the
the
new
first
team.
because if he played 8 games for the Dolphins, okay, so in his first 8,
he played 6 games for the Dolphins and he had 46 carries
okay, in the first
in 6 games.
in the first ones he had 5, 9, 10, 10, 13, 8 before week 8. So that's pretty okay numbers for him right there. In the second
Go look
second
at
half of
his-
the season, he
go look
literally
at
got
his new
got triple the carries. By the way, just put that out there.
Okay,
yeah.
as he should.
Literally got like triple the carries. It had 2 games over 30, 1 game of 17, 1 game of 9, 1 game of 7. Like, and then
But
He
what
got
about
triple
his
the
last
carries,
3?
and his average yards per carry went up from 3.7 to 5.2.
yeah, because he got triple yards the carry. Like he got triple the carry.
No, that
I'm saying
doesn't
yards
matter.
per
I
carry.
mean, just saying.
Yeah, it's yards per carry. It's normalized. So
what,
he went to-
what I'm saying is like, yeah, he had bigger games, but he literally like they just force fed him. Like they're not gonna.
he was
do it
more
again.
efficient though.
He's
That's
not.
what
They're not
the
gonna do that again. He's not gonna be
Yes.
productive again. Like
I think they want. It's the scheme of the offense.
I have him at rank 20 for a reason. He's not gonna be inside the top 10, and I will bet both you guys $50 since we already got that bet on Scott over here.
I will bet you $50 he's above top 20. He's above 20.
No.
Well,
We gotta take the same
well,
bet. You're saying he's a top 10 back.
I'm changing that then.
You're both saying he's a top 10 back. The bet is he a top 10 back? $50.
No, but then that's pretty easy for you to say because you have no skin in the game,
I have $100 on it. What do you mean I have no skin in it?
really. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like that's
He
For
finishes
to
11,
get
I
a
make
top
money.
10
He finishes 10, I lose money. What do you mean I have no skin in this? Like,
but, like that's. I mean, that's just like
what do you want? Like 3 to 1
So
odds? Like,
things-
what do you want
many,
here?
like the odds of that are not
Okay,
very
so
high.
last
just
season he
because-
played half a season as a Dolphin. He finished at rank 17. So really only needs to improve 7 positionings. You're saying he's going to improve 9 positionings.
I
and
do.
You're saying he's going to improve 8. So both you guys sound like you guys are very confident in this situation. So
Just
I'm
the
saying he's
odds
going
are
to
not
decrease from
in our
17 to
favor, though.
20.
That's
The odds are perfectly in your favor. This is barring no injury. So if there's no injury, this is what this matters. If there's an injury,
So-
this bet's off.
Why do you think he's going to finish so low? Do you just not think he has the skill, or?
I just don't think he's as good
Volume?
as what he put up in the last couple games. I mean, he had a couple games where he broke out. Honestly, you take away the 2 games where he had plus 30, he finishes as a normal back probably like 30th. I mean,
what?
realistically.
Oh, just scratch him completely? Like, what do you mean?
Well, man, like if he would like just put up normal stats in those games and didn't just have a breakout game in 2 games in a row, he literally finishes with like 10 or 12. He's like ranked 25 to 30.
You can say the same for Saquon. Like, scratch out his.
There's a difference.
two-
Though. Saquon's been breaking out since game 1 of his career.
There's a difference.
Kenyon
because I like
Drake's-
Saquon.
Kenyon Drake's 3 years in his career at this point and had 2 games that mattered. I mean, and if you remember a couple years ago, Kenyon
he's been
Drake
stuck
2 years ago and the Dolphins had back-to-back games of like 35 and 40 points, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Kenyon Drake's so good!" And since that point, crashed back down to earth. The dude wasn't that good. All right, and that's the same
because
situation.
Drake was stuck behind Adam Gase.
Oh my God, you're
And-
so built on this Adam Gase thing. Are we in?
I'm-
Are you
okay.
in on the bet? Top 10, $50. The bet's already set with Scotty can't back out. So
$50 top 10. I don't know. Let me think
Barring-
about it.
Or an injury.
Yeah, barring injury,
barring injury. So that's the bonus for you.
I'll think about it.
Or, like,
Exactly.
assuming he plays 16 games.
Yeah, he's got to play all the
Yeah.
games. Like I mean,
Yeah, alright.
I mean, you're already in anyway. It doesn't matter. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
Like you
If
can't
you
back
change
out.
it to
Okay.
top 15, yeah,
not
for
changing
sure.
it to top
But I don't
15.
want to get
Oh,
screwed
you
if
have
he
him at
finishes
9.
number 11.
Yeah,
No, you have him at
exactly.
9,
That's
not my
where
fault.
I'm at.
Not my fault.
Like, yeah, he's like he'll probably honestly finish like 11 through 15. If I'm being real.
All right,
But
I'll sweeten it. But if he finishes 11, I'm gonna be pissed. But the money goes the money goes up $25 if I change it. So
Okay.
the top 10.
now it's gonna be top 10 still for you guys to make money. But if he finishes 11, it's a wash. And if he finishes 12, it's half cost. Okay. So if it's 12, you guys gotta pay me
Wait, I'm
35 each.
confused.
So basically, we're gonna change it to $70. Okay. And if he finishes 12, you go me 35 each. If he finishes 11, it washes out. No one knows anything. So 11's a buffer. Okay. So therefore,
Okay.
you get your bonus that he has to be
Okay.
13 to get a full pay. But if he's 13 or lower, you both owe me $70.
And then, but if he's,
If he's
But
13
then
or lower, you owe me $70.
but then you owe us $70.
If he's top 10, like if he is
Then you
top
owe
10,
us.
like
Okay.
all right,
I'm down with that actually. I like
Yeah,
these new
sure.
terms.
all right.
Let's go.
All right.
All right,
Here we
but,
go,
Number
rank-
10,
Here we go,
number
ranked
9,
20th.
10.
Do what?
yeah.
Are we on 9 or 10?
We are on rank number 9.
9.
Because I have Todd Gurley there. No.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on 9. I have Todd Gurley there.
I have Josh
And-
Jacobs at 9.
So yeah, I have Drake at 9 and Jacobs at 10.
Yeah. So, who'd you have at 8?
I had Chubb at 8.
Oh, yeah, we talked about Chubb. Okay.
Yep.
So, number 9. I guess I'll start this off a little bit. Kind of going in a circle, so that works. I mean,
Josh Jacobs is. I'm just saying, Josh Jacobs is legit. Like
I
he
don't
is.
have Josh Jacobs there, though, so I'm talking about
No,
my
no,
guy.
well, we're talking. Hey, Hayden has. Oh no, he doesn't have Josh.
Yeah, Jacobs is 10. He's gonna talk about his 9 right now.
Yeah, because my
Okay.
9's completely
Oh,
different.
Todd
You guys are
Gurley.
close.
Oh,
You guys close.
this.
The Todd, Mr. TG3, going to play for Atlanta. I think he's going to be having his comeback.
I think he's
game.
gonna have arthritis and he's gonna play 13 games.
Yeah, I think he plays 13 games.
Wow.
maybe
Wow.
less.
Wow. Y'all are just haters, man.
I like Todd
No,
Gurley.
we're being real. Like there's a difference
TG3.
between.
TG3 is coming back. It's going to be his comeback year, and I really feel like he's going to have a great season. I don't see him putting up the numbers he put up a couple years ago where he was like number 1, number 2 back in the league, but I think he's going to put up numbers where people can be like, wow, he definitely needs to get paid more $6 million. Like,
You know what I do actually like about Todd Gurley this year though is he's going back to where he went to college at.
Yeah.
And I could see that. You know, he's kind of like a hometown feel, like nice and
Yeah.
comfortable.
I'm pretty sure he's from Atlanta, ain't he?
I think he.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
he's
pretty sure
he's,
from
school
he's,
there,
fr-
now
he's
he's gonna-
from Georgia.
Yeah.
So he's
He is-
from Georgia, I'm pretty sure. So I think it's just like the whole idea of going back home, and just I think that's why he took the
I
contract.
can see that helping
I mean, I think it's in the clears there. He's had a lot of time off with everything that happened. I think he's definitely got back in the gym, and I felt like last year when they actually gave him the ball and gave him the ability to run, he put up good numbers. I mean, they weren't feeding him enough early on. They weren't giving him the ball enough. I mean, with him actually getting good amount of carries and actually getting a chance to show that he's still there, I felt like his numbers weren't bad. So with that, I definitely feel like he's still a top 10 back. I don't write him off at all. I
I
really
just think all the other guys are going to step
well,
up.
I mean, I
more.
feel like there's a lot of good
Get more
players.
volume.
There's a lot of good players. Like there is a lot of good running backs, and it's really tough. But like I said, I still think he finished like 27 last year, maybe. Like somewhere around there. Like he was.
Yeah,
It wasn't,
I think so.
it was around that area.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like I definitely don't see him losing too much of that ability, and he's coming. He finished at 14 last year. Actually, he finished at 14.
Oh.
So
Higher
Yeah.
than I thought.
like a lot higher than
Second
I-
half of
yeah.
the year, he was probably a top 10 guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's putting up
honestly.
in the second half of the year. He's putting up 20s and 16s and 21s, 18s. I mean, like literally
It's
in
like-
the games that he got carries in, he showed what he could do with those carries, and I just don't see. I see him getting more production with Atlanta now that they don't have their other running back with Freeman, and I just see him having a better season than they did last year than with the Rams. Coming back out, having a little more breakout. I think Sean McVay and that whole offense was just done with him after last year. With the arthritis thing, was just ready to move on, and he was frustrated with the fact that they were that way because in week 3 when he wasn't getting any carries, because by the way, if you go look at his numbers, like weeks 1 through 3, he literally didn't see the freaking ball. Besides, like I think he had a couple catches for touchdowns, so his numbers look inflated, but like he didn't get to run the ball like at all. It was receiving
Yeah.
catches for touchdowns, so it was like. I mean, I think he had like 11 and 15 in the first 2 games, and then week 3 he didn't even get a carry. I don't think, or he got like I don't even think he got a carry in week 3. And then he went on like Twitter and was like, "All right, you guys need to give me a carry or trade me." Pretty much is what he was basically saying. Like I'm ready to move on if that's what we're gonna do. And then after that, he had a good half of the second half of the season. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you add that all up and say he got a couple carries early on and actually had a couple games early on, and they let him run it, we're looking at top 10 back last year. But they just were not about it. They were like too much of the injury. And
Even with his good games though, he never had a 100-yard game last year.
they never gave him enough carries to have a 100-yard game. What's his most carries in a game? Like 12?
25.
What was it,
Yeah,
late in the
yeah.
year?
I was
Late
like,
in the year?
Yeah, he had a few
Chicago,
20 games.
November.
Yeah, November, late in the year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He had 23 in December.
that's what I'm saying. Late in the year, like early on, they didn't give him carries at all.
I'm just saying, even with
Yeah.
25 yards, he'd never had like a big
Yeah.
run.
Yeah,
that
but
went
Chicago
through.
was a pretty big, stout team last year.
That's
Like,
fair.
The defense was nasty.
Except
So-
for when Josh Jacobs played him, he just torched him.
Here we go back to Josh
Ye-
Jacobs thing. All right.
Yeah, I've been.
No,
let's not talk
I'm-
about that.
I'm just saying that, like, yeah, I benched him that week
But-
because for that reason, but he
Yeah.
went off for like 30 points.
Last
so-
time I listened to Scott, but
Yeah. So, like,
Don't
I
lie.
really, like I said, he was 14 last year. I think jumping up 5 places isn't like wildly and crazy, and I think he's gonna have a hometown feel, a better offensive set for running the ball. I think Freeman did okay in that system, so I think Todd Gurley will do pretty well. I think it's gonna be a good year for him. I think that's what Atlanta needs. Have a good power size running back that does finesseful things, and just I think that's exactly what they're looking for. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think the solid
I don't
pick.
really disagree with anything you said. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have him
Yeah.
that high, but I don't have him that low either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I think I have him at 15.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where I have him too.
Yes. Yeah, but Scott's ready to like bash my argument. I see it in his eyes. He's ready. He's ready
It's
to
just
go.
funny. 'Cause
He doesn't have a
because
knee.
What you're,
like
how you were describing Todd Gurley is literally how I was describing Kenyon Drake, and it was so.
Yeah, 'cause he has
it was so funny. And-
Kenyon
and
Drake
you
has
are
arthritis,
Like,
got you.
oh, look. Yeah, exactly. Drake doesn't have arthritis, so he has
Yeah.
more upside.
Yeah, and Kenyon Drake used to be the number 1 running back in the league, and Kenyon Drake had a $60 million deal. Like, and Kenyon Drake was like, amazing at one point. Yeah, that's all. Those all come together, right? Got you. All right, you're moving on to your
Moving
number
on to
9.
path.
Your guys' number 9,
right.
both Josh Jacobs, right?
I think.
Aiden's
Are we on
10
9?
is Josh Jacobs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9. Yeah, we're on 9.
I think we
Who's-
were going to talk about Josh Jacobs next because Scott has
You
him
had
at.
Kenyon Drake, so we already talked about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
Josh
Josh
Jacobs.
Do you
Jacobs.
have
yeah.
Jacobs at
Dude,
Scott?
I have him at 9.
Okay, I have him at 10. So yeah.
Dude, Josh Jacobs might be the next next thing, dude.
He is my
He's
keeper this year because I
so good.
snuck him out in the 4th round, so I get to keep him.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to what he does.
Side note on that, 'cause me and Scott been talking about it. We should start a keeper league in the big league, like our league. Like he says we make a new one, but I'm just thinking like we should just go to a keeper league. I mean,
Good.
I mean, we'll come back to that though. Like,
yeah, that's for after.
More importantly, the 3 of us are playing in a fantasy league this year, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, unless you're trying to back out again, like
no, unless we have football this year, is what he's saying. I think.
Oh, because the last 2 years I've had to like talk you into playing again. You're like, I'm in so many leagues and I've played in this league for like 5 years.
Well,
like you've been in this league for like 5 years. Me and Scott been in this league for like 8 years. Like
the last year wasn't bad, but the year before that, I actually was in 5 leagues and it was way too much.
Yeah, I think you were just salty because I won it, and you're like, I can't watch him win it anymore.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah,
That's what it
there
was.
was some questionable trades happening
There was not
around
questionable nothing.
Oh no, I remember. No, it was the draft.
Here we go.
It's like Michael's like draft number, like pick number 7, right? And 5 is like I don't even remember who it was.
Oh, it was
Like
a quarterback.
he was
Andrew Luck.
pick number 4. He was pick number
No,
4.
no.
And in the first round,
yeah,
it was
Andrew Luck and Drew Brees, and then he's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'll take Antonio Brown, I'll take this guy, I'll take this. I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is this?
First overall pick the year I won it was Aaron Rodgers. Which,
and it was Tom Brady.
Which, on a side note, timeout, 3 years before that or whatever, you took him like 3rd, like AR.
Me?
Yeah.
In the first round, maybe.
Yeah. No, you 100% did because my friend Nick, which is Thanos Miss Me, was pissed.
Oh
Because
no,
he's
that's
a big
why I did it.
Packers
Scott
fan.
told me that he was a huge Rodgers
He's a
fan. I was like, we'll
huge
see.
Packers fan, and like you had pick 3 and he had pick 4, and he already told me he's locked in on pick 4 taking Aaron Rodgers, and you took him 3, and he was texting me like furious stuff. So the next year when he had pick 1, he wasn't even thinking about it. It was Aaron Rodgers or bust. I mean,
And then,
but then
Tom
people
Brady
saw that.
was on
People saw that
board.
and were like, "What? Aaron Rodgers just went pick 1," not realizing that you guys had like a personal vendetta to see who got Aaron Rodgers, and everybody else in the league's like, "Oh, we got to grab quarterback." So next you know, Brady at number 9, Andrew Luck at number 5.
No,
I was
it
like, "What the heck?"
What was? Dude, it was just.
It was crazy.
Rodgers,
It was
Brady
crazy.
first 2 picks.
But it
I was just
worked
like,
in
what
my
is
favor
going on?
because I got Saquon in the 2nd round.
I know it worked in your favor because I literally was sitting there thinking that you had like all these burner fantasy accounts set up to just draft all willy nilly so you could get whoever you wanted. I just pictured you sitting there with like 6 laptops and 2 iPads just picking crazy.
You know, I wish that was right, but me and Scott were in a call, so it was like one of those things where like you literally could just look over and see that I wasn't doing that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. Well, anyway, back to Josh
Jacobs.
Josh,
Josh
Jacobs.
Jacobs.
Dude, he's gonna have a good year.
I think he's a good breakout year. I think he's gonna be better this year than he was last year.
Well, he didn't play all the games. Like he was good last year.
Yeah,
he
he
just
missed 3
didn't play.
I think
Just
I've
3
got him
games.
like just outside the fringe of top 10. I think I'm getting at 13, but I could see that being better than that. I mean, I could see him break the top 10, and it wouldn't even like salt me at all. You know what I mean? Like he's a solid player. I just don't care for the Raiders. I mean, I'm definitely a Broncos fan, so I hope all those players just like get hurt or out for the season. Like not severe injuries, but like just out for the rest of the season type stuff. You know what I mean?
Not severe, just a broken collarbone or 2.
But like I just
This guy.
You're the worst type of person, hoping for injuries.
like I'm not
Oh,
hoping
I-
for injury, but if it happens, I'm not over here going, "Aw," like.
I just know last year Jacobs had that like shoulder stinger issue, and he
Yeah,
missed
that
3
A
games.
that AC joint issue.
Yeah.
And I think him missing 3 games, like even underplays a little bit. I bet you some of the games that he played in, he was really feeling that shoulder, and I think it had affected
yeah.
his workload. He had games that was like 10 carries, 12 carries, 15 carries. You know, so I think he's even gonna pump those numbers up. this
Yeah.
next year.
I do too.
Like I could
And-
really agree with that, and I think, like I said, I think Jacobs comes up a lot from he did last year, but I just at this moment in time I don't see him as a top 10 yet. I mean next year
Right.
maybe, but right now it's questionable. And who did you have at number 9? You had Kenyon.
I
Hayden
had
Drake.
I had Drake and
Okay.
Jacobs at 10.
So
We talked about both of them.
So
Yeah.
you're already you're top 10.
and I have Chubb at 10. So.
We've already
Talked
talked about
about
Chip.
Chubb.
So the last guy to talk about in this episode is actually going to be Leonard Fournette then, because that's number
Ooh.
10 for me.
I have him at 14.
I have him at 13.
So we're all like in the same thing. I just think
Yeah.
he's gonna get. By the way, I have him higher than Aaron Jones. So I'm just saying, just take shots at those Green Bay Packers fans so fast. But Leonard Fournette, I think without with the way they did that offense over there, I don't know if he's gonna be traded or not. Like I think there's a
That's
possibility.
kind of where I'm at. Like I don't like
Like,
his contract issues and team issues.
I-
I don't know what's
I
happening
think
over there.
definitively as a player, he's a top 10 back. I think, like wherever he goes, he's gonna be a top 10 back. But I think with the trade season and all that, it could be bad. Like it could be a year where they might not let him run the ball because they don't want to get injured because they want to trade him. You know what I mean? So it's one of those
Yeah.
things where like anything can happen in that situation. But I'm just going off the fact that he doesn't get traded, or if he gets traded before camp, I got him at top 10. I mean, I think he's a solid player. I think, he's very skillful for his size and powerful ability. I mean, you don't see a lot of players do the
Yes.
kind of moves he does when at that size and that ability. I mean, like, and just watching him back in college, like, dude was a freaking monster. I mean, like, I thought he was going to come into the league and just terrorize the league with his size and speed. And, I mean, he fell a little short of that, but I think it's partly that Jacksonville offense. That Jacksonville offense does not know how to, like, move. I mean, like, they don't know how to push the ball.
He is their
Yeah.
offense.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
like I
And
think
then
he'll.
Baby Chark out there on the outside.
Yeah. And I think this year the Garner Minshew experiment last year that didn't really pan out. I think they're going to lean more towards the running back game if they're going to make a move. I mean, you never know with them because of the way that they've literally tanked their defense. They're in rebuild mode and they're talking about trading him right now. But if they actually are trying to move up and actually get a good positioning in the playoffs, he's going to be the guy that's going to get him there. He's going to put him on the back and just kind of move him. So
Yeah.
I'm perfectly okay seeing him as a top 10 back. I could see people drafting him in the first round if you're in a big league, but like if you're in like an 8 or 10 man league, he's probably a second round pick. But in like a 12 man league or higher, he's probably a first round draft pick. So
I mean, he'll get the volume. I just don't know if that's going to translate into production, because he is going to be that entire offense.
Yeah.
So, I just don't know what kind of defenses he'll be.
I could see them doing
like
like a
schemes.
like drive sense of like a 1-1-2, like run 2 runs, 1-2 pass, 1 pass, 2 runs, 1 run, 3 pass type thing, like just kind of moving the ball downfield, and then goal line option being him. So I could see a lot of like mid-level.
Well, like I'm saying, when
carries.
he gets the ball and runs, like just how many stacked boxes and stuff he'll.
Oh, he's gonna
be-
pull some. Like he's definitely gonna pull some. But, like people
Yep, yeah.
people fear him for sure because they know if he gets through people, like if he can get through anybody he wants to, he's gonna break away. I mean, like he's got the speed at the backside, so people definitely fear him. But I'm saying is like I could definitely see that offense being a lot more geared to the pass, where his options are really gonna be more towards like 10-yard carries, if that, and then goal line shots. So I think a lot more touchdown carries than big carries personally, but I think it'll work out in the long run. I think Leonard Fournette's a pretty good pickup at number 10.
I think what surprised me last year was the amount of receptions that he had. I didn't really expect that because I do think of him as more of a power
Yeah,
back.
They just had no one like behind
I
him
think that's
on
again a
yeah.
the
Gardner
depth chart.
Minshew.
Like he's
So I kinda
going to get
wonder
the
if-
volume.
Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to get those same amount of receptions, and if that is the case,
Oh.
I probably would move him up a little bit.
I think with Gardner Minshew still being the quarterback there, then for sure.
Well,
he's
they also
still-
signed Chris Thompson.
Yeah,
so-
he's still a
Yeah.
little wet behind the ears, so I feel like he does a lot of check down moves and isn't a great arm to throw the ball downfield, really. So a lot of slot passes to those fast receivers and a lot of check downs to Leonard Fournette, and that's just where Gardner Minshew really sits if they stick with him. Which it looks
are
like that.
sticking
It looks like that after they
with
traded
him.
Foles, after they signed.
Yeah.
At
At
the same time,
$70 million.
I have like a little personal vendetta against Fournette because I didn't draft him his rookie year. Had a great year. I drafted him the next year. My man like broke
And
his
then
own ankles.
same here.
I didn't draft
Hey.
him last year because I was kind of scared of injuries, and he went off again. So
Hey,
Yeah, I-
on a side note, he drafted him his rookie year and he got second. So I mean,
Me? Or
you,
who?
you.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
did.
draft.
You didn't? I thought you did have
drafted
him.
him.
You definitely
Had
did.
him in our league, Hayden,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
and then
you definitely
because I dropped
drafted
it.
him in
Yeah,
ours.
in our four-man league, which is the most chaotic thing I've ever been a part of.
Dude, I'm pretty sure you drafted him in ours too.
Nah,
I think you
didn't.
drafted him 2 years ago.
Yeah,
when
I drafted him his sophomore year
Yeah,
when
against
he
me and he
played
got whooped. Yeah, that happened.
when he played 8 games.
Yeah, he hated that. All right, well, that's the
Yeah.
top 10 for this episode. We are actually out of time for today's episode. So, like I said, I didn't think we'd get through all 20 in one day, but you will see the next episode hopefully on Wednesday. For the reasoning on why there wasn't a video last week, I'll let Scott explain because it's his fault.
No, oh my gosh, you're still bringing this up.
We hadn't talked about it yet, so.
I had senior project,
So he's like a big time
Deadline.
engineer or something. I don't know, but he basically didn't have time to record.
I had to put on the old backpack and
we
carry.
tried to record a video for the draft, and there's a lot of drama over here on this side of me. So basically, the audio was completely mucked, and I wasn't willing to upload that for that situation. So we skipped that, and that's why there's not a draft video. And the only reason we're not re-recording it is because we spent like an hour and a half talking about it for it to be
And
completely
I was like, I don't want to talk about it again.
Yeah, that'd be that. But like I said, we're bringing you episode 2 of this podcast. Basically, it'll be just episode 4 with the receivers 11 through or running backs 11 through 20, and then you'll see receivers 1 through 10 and receivers 11 through 20, and then we'll probably talk about quarterbacks on another one. So that's it for this episode, though, guys. Thanks for coming.
All right.
Hayden will be back for all the fancy stuff. He might become a permanent cast on the show. We're not sure yet. We're in discussions with that.
We'll have to see about our future auditions.
Yeah. So, like always, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us your feedback. If you have any information, let us know on what you feel like we said. If you don't like Hayden's opinions, let him know personally.
Wow, you can't just call him out like that.
I'm only calling him out because I can literally show you text of him bashing my opinions from episode 1. So, but other than that, yeah. We'll see you guys next time. Later.